Alright guys, how's it going? So lately I've seen a lot of people talking about their top 10 favorite Blu-rays, and I kind of wanted to get on board with this. I have a decent collection, and this is a video that I should have done a long time ago, but I'm glad I didn't because there's a few things in here that are relatively new. How I chose this is I literally just went through my collection and looked at the films that I was most passionate about and the films that I watched the most, just on repeat. And it got me a list of 10 films that are pretty near and dear to my heart. Most of these, if not all of them, will probably be in my favorite film series as I continue to do that, continue to talk about these movies. There's a couple in there. I think my favorite movie of all time isn't even in this list, but these are my favorite Blu-rays. I'm going to cheat a little bit. There is an 11th film or Blu-ray that I'll get to at the very end of this video, and I couldn't leave it out of the list. So, without further ado, let's get into this. The first film in my list is a cool neo-noir western film from director Jim Mickle. It came out in 2014. It's Cold in July. I love this movie. It is fantastic, and it's super underrated. Or not underrated, but like under the radar. It's the story of, Michael C. Hall. He wakes up in the middle of the night with his wife to an intruder in his house. He guns down the intruder, and what takes place after is just kind of this violent noir kind of whirlpool that sucks in, Sam Shepard and Don Johnson, and it just becomes this cool kind of western mystery action film with an amazing synth soundtrack in the vein of John Carpenter movies. I urge anyone that likes westerns or noir or anything to check out Cold in July. I blindly watched this last year, and I love it. It's one of my favorite films of the past few years. It's really, really phenomenal. And it's a really great Blu-ray, too. Number 2, I have this one actually isn't even open yet. I have the film on just regular Blu-ray, and I've been watching that one. But this edition, if you haven't checked out Plain Archive, they have some really amazing editions of stuff. And I got the I Saw the Devil Collector's Edition. This is again one of my favorite movies. I think it's my favorite Korean film, more so than Old Boy or any of those. This is such a cool, twisted, dark film. It comes, the Plain Archive thing, it's the steelbook. You have two characters, the main characters on it. It comes with like a little booklet of stuff just about the film, and this cool kind of like translucent case. I really love I Saw the Devil. It's a really dark and kind of mysterious serial killer film that kind of like jetways into a revenge action film. It's very different than a lot of things. I think it's on Netflix, so you should totally check that out. Third is another movie from... There's a decent amount of movies from 2014 here. One of my favorite directors, Adam Wingard, his newest film, The Guest. I have this steelbook. Again, I have this just regular Blu-ray, and I watched that one. I haven't opened this for some reason, but it's from Zavvi.com, the steelbook. It's pretty fantastic. I really love this movie, and it's just cool. I really like this poster, too. I wish they would have used that for the American release of the film, but whatever. The Guest is a fun John Carpenter throwback. Again, there's Carpenter in here. It's just a good action film. Dan Stevens is incredible in it. Micah Monroe from It Follows is really, really good. It's just a really solid action movie. Definitely worth a rent or I'd just buy it. It's fantastic. Moving on, I have a film that, again, from 2014 that I love. My two favorite genres. I love horror films, and I love kind of pulpy westerns, or like neo-westerns. So when this came out, I was super psyched. I love the Coen brothers' work, and it was kind of in that vein. Blue Ruin. This is from director Jeremy Saulnier. He has a new film out that just played at Cannes called Green Room. He's a fantastic director. This movie was made for nothing, and it looks beautiful. It's shot beautifully. It's super well acted, and it's just a very compelling, slow burn revenge drama. Not drama. It's like an action movie kind of. Continuing, the first kind of like John Carpenter film in this list, he's one of my favorite directors, is one of his more obscure movies. I saw this on Starz when I was like 11 or 12, and I didn't understand it at all. It was super weird, and then I've revisited it in the last few years, and I love it. It's probably, in my opinion, it's Carpenter's last good movie. Last great movie. The other movies are just kind of eh. And that is In the Mouth of Madness. This movie is a crazy Lovecraftian mystery horror movie. It has just the weirdest shit in it, and it has just a fantastically insane performance from Sam Neill from Jurassic Park and everything else. It's just a really crazy movie. This is kind of like it's just a 90s movie. This movie would have been made in no other time but the 90s. I like Lovecraftian stuff a lot. I think it's pretty interesting and creepy, and it's a good like foundation for horror. So John Carpenter making a Lovecraftian movie, this is just it's fantastic. And I know The Thing is kind of Lovecraftian, but like this is very Lovecraftian. It's very weird. It's very dark and strange, and it messes with your mind. It makes you kind of feel crazy at points, but it's super entertaining. Just really solid film. Continuing, another I don't even know what to call this movie. This is probably like my second favorite movie of all time. It is a techno noir kind of thriller mystery. I don't know. These books, I love these books so much. I love the original movies, but the 2011 remake of The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is probably one of my favorite films of all time. I got this steelbook. I'm not even going to pretend to know what language this is. Yeah, I have no idea. But I really wanted a Dragon Tattoo steelbook. I got this. It has the original Millennium name. And I am very passionate about this movie. I think it's fantastic. I think the original films, the Swedish films, are fantastic. But I think David Fincher really kind of elevated it and brought this sleek, kind of dark and twisted. I felt like he captured like the tone of the novels just pitch perfect. Daniel Craig and Rooney Mara are incredible in this film. And it's just a really cool mystery that's like not, I don't know, it didn't feel like Oscar bait, even though David Fincher did it. I don't know, it was just kind of dirty and entertaining and pulpy, and I think it's fantastic. And I think I wish he would come back and do the other sequels to these films, because I really wish they would get made. They're fantastic novels, and yeah, I watch that movie all the time. More John Carpenter. I love Shout Factory, Scream Factory, whatever they're doing. They just keep re-releasing all these John Carpenter movies with really cool new art, and this is actually my favorite John Carpenter movie of all time. A lot of people will probably be kind of surprised by that, but my favorite John Carpenter movie is Prince of Darkness. I can't tell you why I love this movie so much. It is just goofy. It's not even goofy. It's kind of terrifying and quirky and dark, and it kind of it melds the things that he really likes. You know, he likes the monsters and the supernatural, but he also likes siege films. You know, in the vein of like old westerns, Rio Bravo, and Assault on Precinct 13. So Prince of Darkness kind of melds a siege film with like a supernatural horror movie, and it's just so strange about a bunch of college kids essentially trying to use science to prove the existence of the devil. I guess that's the gist of it. It's just a really cool film. The soundtrack is just pure Carpenter. It's the most Carpenter-y soundtrack of all of his soundtracks. And it's really fantastic. It's super underrated, and Shout Factory does amazing with their new art. It looks really, really crazy, and really just, I love this. I love the VHS kind of video cover art. If you haven't seen Prince of Darkness, check it out, especially if you like John Carpenter, because it's one of his more underrated films, but I like it the most. I just think it's a lot of fun. Another one of my favorite films of all time is a Western, and it's a Western. It's from the Coen brothers. I think it's their best masterpiece. No Country for Old Men. The Steelbook rules. I watch this movie religiously. I love No Country for Old Men. It's probably, yeah, I'd probably say this is one of the best movies of the 2000s. It just everything about it, between the acting and the incredible cinematography and the lack thereof of score. It's an incredible tense ride that just doesn't let you go until the end. And I don't know. It's just very solid and very kind of, what's the word? I don't know. It just has a lot to say. You know, there's a lot about people and violence, and this is kind of like what people do. It's just a very like contemplative film, and I absolutely love it. The Coen brothers just really knocked it out of the park with this. I would love them to see them get back to doing a movie or two like this. Just this kind of dark, brutal, violent filmmaking. Two more. This is the only Criterion on the list. I'm not a big fan of Criterion, except for when they remake fucking awesome movies like Scanners. This is from David Cronenberg. You know, he did Videodrome's also on Criterion. I almost picked that one. But Scanners is this cool film. I thought this was going to be some weird horror movie. I saw this a few years ago. I thought it was going to be a weird horror movie. It turned out to be some crazy espionage, telekinesis action movie. It's awesome. It's super entertaining. It has Criterion did an amazing job. They have all this like amazing art, and it's an awesome transfer. This is definitely, I watch this movie every Christmas time. I don't know why. It just like it reminds me of Christmas. I think I can't tell you why, but it there you go. It reminds me of Christmas. It has one of like the most kind of shocking and memorable gore scenes in most horror movies. Most people are familiar with the scene I'm talking about. It's just a really fun ride. I wish they'd make more telekinesis films, because that's something that there definitely isn't very many of anymore, especially like cool action ones. It's definitely a movie of its era. And finally, well, out of my top 10 is another John Carpenter film, and it's his ultimate classic, you know, Halloween. What do you have to say about Halloween? This is an amazing digibook for the 35th anniversary. It has some just fantastic art, just stuff about the film. I mean, this is Halloween. It's the seminal slasher. It is the movie that started slasher films. If you don't like Halloween, then you just don't really like horror movies, you know, because it's kind of, I don't know. For me, it's where modern horror comes from, is Halloween. And John Carpenter, I wonder what it feels like to be John Carpenter, to know that you made one of the most iconic, not even just the most iconic killers in the genre, but you also made one of the most iconic pieces of film music. Like, you know, people know Star Wars, they know the Jaws, and they know Halloween. I knew Halloween when I was in like 3rd grade, and I had never even like heard of this movie. I just knew the theme song. So, yeah, you know, it's on this list. I watch Halloween once or twice every 6 months. It's just, I love it. I think it's a fantastic, fantastic movie that was done on nothing, and that really kind of became a staple for its time. So, those are my top 10 favorite Blu-rays that I have in my collection. The one that I have that I needed to include on this list, it is not a movie, it is a television show, and that's the Twin Peaks, The Entire Mystery. I absolutely love Twin Peaks. It is probably it is my favorite show of all time. I watch this maybe once a year, all the way through. It's coming back in 2016, 18 episodes directed by David Lynch, but this box set was just like a dream come true. You have, it's just a really solid box set that has all the discs, and it's very well done. If you haven't seen Twin Peaks, I'd say this is like $70. Just blow the $70 and buy this. You'll binge watch it, and you'll love it, because there's nothing else like it. So, yeah, guys, those are my top 11 favorite Blu-rays that I own in my collection. A lot of these are my favorite films of all time, so I will be making other videos on them, going more in depth about like the acting and the cinematography and just why I really love these films. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and if you want to hear any more on movies or my opinions on things, you can follow me on Twitter down below. Comment, like this video. You know, it's just, I love your guys' support, and I want to keep making videos. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.